Reduce, reuse, recycle, the three most well-known words about pollution. Today there is an estimate of 12.9 million deaths a year due to unhealthy environments. Pollution is becoming a worldwide problem that has many ways to prevent. Today I'm going to discuss the rising issues of air, water, and soil pollution and the steps we need to take to prevent them. Let's start by looking at air pollution. Air pollution is one of the most widespread and deadly types of pollution that has new ways of preventing. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, in the article, Actions You Can Take to Reduce Air Pollution, it lists the ways of reducing the amount of pollution on a daily basis and on days that the ozone and particulate matter is high. Carpooling and using alternative methods of transportation like riding bikes are good ways to reduce the amount of pollution in the air on a day-to-day basis. Taking the extra measures like putting off mowing and other gas-involved outdoor activities when the ozone levels are high can cut back on some of the pollution in the area. Another step is to not burn leaves when the particulate matter is high, and that can significantly affect the quality of the air nearby. According to the American Lung Association, in the article, The Connection Between Lung Cancer and Outdoor Air Pollution, overwhelming evidence shows the particle pollution in the outdoor air we breathe, like that coming from vehicle exhaust, coal-fired power plants, and other industrial sources can cause lung cancer. Particulate matter is the particles in the air that we breathe, which can directly affect our health. Breathing in these particles can not only irritate our eyes and throats, but it can also get stuck in our lungs and even bloodstream. The doctors from China confirm that an 8-year-old girl has gotten lung cancer from the air pollution in her largely populated city. Cancer in this young of a person is rare in China, and there is not really any other prominent reasons that a once perfectly healthy child contracted such a detrimental disease. The facts are there enough for me to not ignore that pollution is an issue that needs to be fixed. After talking about the preventions of air pollution, we can now discuss the other well-known types of pollution of water and ways to stop it. Water pollution is a growing issue, especially as the demand for non-biodegradable substances become more important. According to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, the Endangered Species Act was passed in 1973 to help the lives threatened and endangered in their natural habitats. I'm sure that almost everyone here has heard about saving the sea turtles and cleaning the huge pile of trash that harms our ocean. It is no lie that all of these are true. The Endangered Species Act helps to save the animals whose lives are at stake because of our trash. It has been found that 5.25 trillion pieces of plastic weighing about 200,000 tons are in our oceans today. This trash is killing innocent sea creatures on a daily basis, resulting in about 100,000 deaths per year. Even though acts are passed such as this, it does not mean that all the trash goes away. Ways to prevent water pollution is to recycle your plastics and try to find other ways to use it instead. Many places are starting to get rid of plastic straws, which is helping to save lives. As stated by the NRDC in the article Water Pollution, everything you need to know, more than 80% of the world's wastewater flows back into the environment without being treated or reused. Wastewater is things like sewage and products from power plants and factories. I know that it's hard to stop all these things, but there are several systems for minimizing it. Recycling water in a system that repurifies it is one of the best ways to prevent pollution. Other ways to prevent is to not let streets and the outside be extremely dirty, because rain runoff will carry these things back into our future water supplies, which can also tie into the pollution harming our wildlife in the ocean. The last type of pollution is not one commonly known or discussed. Soil pollution is not the most known type of pollution, but it's still dangerous to our everyday life. Referring to the article, Soil Pollution Causes and Effects That Are Seriously Eye-Opening by the Help Save Nature organization, written in 2018, explains how soil pollution can be caused by pesticides, fertilizers, and insecticides and can be detrimental to humans, vegetation, and livestock. Pesticides are chemicals that are put on plants that can cause many issues to the land and ecosystems. When soil gets polluted, it makes the ground untouchable. Barren lands will end up drying out and creating toxic dust to get spread around into the lungs of those surrounding it. Improper septic systems are also an issue that can ruin vegetation that grows there and harm the animals that drink from the water supply. Preventing this is to better regulate the contain the flow of waste and do everything possible to keep the grounds healthy. The same article above also states that generally crops cannot grow and flourish in polluted soil. With the soil that loses its nutrients, crops will have a hard time growing and it can affect them to become poisonous. Not only does it affect the animals living there, but it also can affect the humans trying to farm there. All the chemicals that are polluting our lands have high potential to be in our food source. Even though these products are being used to keep bugs away and keeping them from dying, they're not natural for us to consume. Ways to prevent this is to grow our own garden at home and find many ways to keep the lands and vegetation healthy. Pollution is an issue that has several preventions that are needed to be used in order to make the world a better place. Air pollution is causing cancers and killing children in the world, which can be prevented by reducing the amount of greenhouse gases in the air. Water pollution is a major problem that contaminates drinking water and kills innocent sea creatures, and can be prevented by recycling plastic and cutting it out of the equation. Lastly, soil pollution is ruining our crops and putting animals' lives at stake, which can be prevented by maintaining your own garden and regulating chemical usage. The sad part is that all of these worldwide issues have alternative ways to prevent that nobody realizes. Death should not be the result for things like this to be noticed. I'm hopeful that the world will become a healthier environment one day, but the first step relies on you to make a difference.